ATF tweet, this was one of the craziest things. I thought it was fake, and I had to go and actually look at the tweet. They tweeted yesterday, quote, "We remember the fallen agents, Special Agent Conway LeBlanc, Special Agent Todd McKeon, Special Agent Robert Williams, and Special Agent Stephen Willis, who made the ultimate sacrifice while trying to execute a search warrant. Remembering Waco, February 28th, 1993. Well, execute sure as hell, right? Exactly. I was 15 years old when this happened, give or take. I was actually 14, turning 15. And I watched this. I was at my grandparents' house in the Ozarks, and I was in there. I remember I was sitting by the AC because the AC was in the window right by the TV, and that's where I was sitting by the AC. Is hot. And it was hot. It was a weird, I remember that. And I was watching this, and of course, they had a tiny house, and I was in there with a frillion of my cousins. And we were watching this happen on the television. And I just remember thinking, wow, something really bad must have happened. Like, what did they do? What do those people do? And the newspaper that my grandpa had, you know, those pockets in the side of the recliners, he would keep his newspapers and stuff in there. They were like, oh, yeah, they were those Waco people. They're cultists, and they had all these fully automatic firearms and full auto guns, all this stuff. And they were making full auto, and they were accusing them of everything. And then the New York Times actually had to go back and kind of change their story and say, well, okay, well, they weren't full auto guns, but they were semi-auto. It's halfway there. That is one of the darkest periods. That's a dark period in our country's history. I mean, they sure as hell did execute. How many 80 plus people dead? Like 20 children at least. It's one of the craziest stories ever. And ATF Washington was tweeting about this, and they were just going on and on and on. I just could not believe that it was one of the most ignorant tweets ever. Now, remember, when this first started, when the whole situation, when everything with Waco first started, they were saying that it was like a red flag serving. They were serving a red flag order, basically. That's like the first red flag order that was served. And when they went and initially started trying to get involved and try to serve this warrant, try to do all of this stuff, the accusation from the government was that David Koresh had full auto firearms there. And he had fully automatic firearms, and it's very dangerous. And and also he's doing all of this other stuff. They're a cult, and I mean they are a cult. Let's not smooth over. I have a story for you on that too. But all of the accusations about what they were doing with firearms, none of that actually was true. In fact, none of it was true. And all of this, what gets me is that if they had wanted to get David Koresh, you realize that he was in town in Waco once a week. He himself was going to the post office because they were running a business. Like they would get blanks in, like the lowers and all that. They would do that kind of, he wasn't violating any kind of gun law. He was a creepy ass cultist. And even some of the accusations that they had about the kids, they never actually substantiated this stuff. And it was really difficult to find out what was true and what wasn't when you had so many media outlets that had to walk back some initial claims. But if they had wanted to get him, why didn't they get him? He would go into Waco and buy groceries. He was going to the post office in Waco. Why did you have to do that when you could have, if you were staking him out and you knew that all of this was happening, why did you have to go and murder 80 some odd people? Why couldn't you have just arrested him when he was out and about? That's my first question. Like, why couldn't you have done that? I just will never, and that, I don't know if that question was ever answered. Was it? I don't know if it was. I mean, this it was really just the fact that I can't believe that they actually put this up there, that they have it up there.